Loshak at? The bottle's getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon. We be pubbing.
Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. My name is Peter Loshak. He's Jose Bouquett. That's the other guy on the screen right now. And this is the show I do every Tuesday with Pub Sports Radio. Of course, I've been doing this with Jimmy the Bag for a long time. It's been a lot of fun, but now it's high season. Everything gets crazy. Jimmy the Bag is incredible. I don't know how Jimmy the Bag could possibly do it, even if he didn't have a family. But with a family, but he's who he is, a superhero of sorts. So for the high season, I'm going to be doing these Tuesday shows solo, but with Jose Bouquett, of course, and guests and everything. And it'll be a lot of fun, brisk pace. We're going to do it. For today's card, I can't speak about the next show or the next shows after that, but for today's card, I feel pretty okay about MLB. Jose Bouquett, anytime Rasmussen is starting, that's a nice day because he's very reliable and very excellent. There's a few other situations like that as well. Some starting pitcher days that I'm happy about. Shout out to the comment section. Again, I'm doing this solo. We're going to have a lot of fun. Let's see who's in the comment section right now. Let's give out some shout outs, but also we're going to plug a lot of things. First, let's plug the contest, right? Jose Bouquett, how's that going? The Cappers contest and Survivor. Tell us about that. How's it going? What's the status of that?
Starts this week, obviously. NFL starts this week. Exciting stuff. Getting a lot of DMs about it, which is great. I love it. If you guys have any questions or something's up, definitely DM me. But it starts this weekend. The last day to enter is Saturday because the picks lock for week 1 on Saturday. The lines, the spreads will lock on Wednesday, meaning, for example, I don't know, where we're moseying along. I have not even looked at the NFL spreads yet, truthfully. But we're moseying along. We see Jets -4. Whatever. Oh, and then, Zach Wilson's back. Friday, they announce it. All right, well, we got to put it to Jets -10. Psych. That line stays at Jets -4. So whatever the line locks at Wednesday, that'll be the line. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I entered this weekend. I set up my account. It was lovely. I cannot wait. And yes, last day to enter is Saturday. $100 to enter both the Survivor contest and the Cappers contest as well. It's going to be great times. Pete, I hope you're in it, and I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about it as well.
I'm signed up for both Survivor and the Cappers contest, and I have sometimes I'm again, it's the high season. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to skip NBA or I'm going to skip NFL, but this year, no. Because of the contest, I am fully prepped for NFL. We can talk about that at some point in the show if people would like. Also, Jimmy the Bag is going to be doing every Tuesday at 8 Eastern. At 8 Eastern, Gridiron Gamblers. And you can tell from that shot right there, from that thumbnail, it's going to be a good show, possibly a friggin' awesome, great show. And they're going to go over the Tuesday card. I don't know how they're going to handle, their own picks in the contest versus giving out the picks that they like so that everyone else can join them. But it'll be a great show. And, I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. And, Pete, I'll tell you one more thing. And I think you might even just love this thumbnail. I've got to load this thumbnail up, and I'm going to be very excited for it because I've got so many thumbnails now that StreamYard is just saying, no more, please stop it. You've got too many. But guess what, Pete? We also have one more show. The Cappers contest does, in fact, have its own show every Thursday at 2 p.m. Jimmy the Bag and myself.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Jimmy, look at that. You love that. What movie does that remind you of right there? That's picturesque.
Godfather? I don't know. What is that supposed to remind me of?
I don't know. I mean, it's just beautiful. I think it should remind you of The Godfather. That's how iconic it is. The Cappers Contest show every Tuesday or Thursday, at 2 p.m. We're going to go over the Cappers Contest, some big results, who's leading it, et cetera, et cetera. And we'll be having a Circa Millions contest entry with Pub Sports Radio. We've done it for the last couple of years. The Pub Sports Radio Vegas trip around this time is always legendary. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. But Jeff is going to go put us in. We're going to make the picks on that show for that contest as well. And we will be very excited about it. So, and especially if we win, Pete, if we win, which it hurts me to say this every time. If we win, Jimmy says all the money goes right back into the Pub Sports Radio listeners for a big shindig, fiesta, whatever we're going to call it, to celebrate our victories. Student loans? No. Parties? Yes. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun, Pete.
All right. Yeah. We'll figure out, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. Let's see. All right. Is there anything else we need to promote? I'm going to just check the comments section right now. Shout out to everyone. Sky Dragon. Shout out to you. Slatsy Saturday. Paco. Oh, shout out to Paco Healy. Michael Ervelina says, Pete out here looking fly. Yeah. Listen, this show, I don't know. How am I feeling right now? Jokes wise, entertainment wise, not that great. Capping wise for today's card and NFL in general, unusually positive and unusually good. And that's what this show is all about. So I'm psyched for it, Jose Bouquett.
Pete, before we start breaking this card down, I will tell you, and I will admit to you, I told you last Tuesday, it was my birthday this past weekend, and I am requesting a birthday pick from you because I said I was going to wait, and I did. I patiently waited. But Pete, I feel like, you probably haven't seen this video, and I can find any excuse to play this video. Pete, I had my birthday at a minor league baseball game. So it was a whole lot of fun. Everyone in my little party actually wore these shirts. If you can see
them. Look at that.
Very nice. Yeah, it looks my lovely face on there as well. But they asked me to do a sweet tea chugging contest, Pete, and I just want to show you a little snippet of how that went. And maybe you can say you're proud of me. I don't know.
Tea on your mark. Get set, go. And they're off. Jose, it's getting on your shirt. On your birthday shirt. Chug. Jose.
You're living the life. Jose Bouquett.
I tell you.
Living close to your best life.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, that was close to it. Let me tell you, I'm not going to be having sweet tea for a while now, and it was extremely warm, but it was a whole lot of fun. Almost as fun as capping this card are going to be, Pete.
I hear you. I mean, the fact that you're living close to your best life is a good positive. The fact that actually is what close to your best life is, that's a little bit of a negative. But I'm proud of you. I am proud of you, Jose Bouquett. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
yeah. All right. So you want to get into it?
Hey, Pete, we might as well, right?
Yeah. Let me give a few more shots. Let me just quickly check the comments section. Oh, Dabby Cab. Shout out to Dabby Cab. Mike L. Top Set. Elio Rodriguez. Motherfucking Rodriguez. Danny Lopez. Our Ish Schnizzle. So great to see everyone in here. All right. And then at some point in this show, if you want to, we can talk NFL. Yeah. Is Jimmy's first NFL show tonight?
Tonight at 8 p.m. That's where he is. If people are asking, he's preparing for that show. Obviously, it takes Jimmy a lot of time, effort to comb through the numbers to get ready for each show. And he does a great job, obviously. So shout out to Jimmy. He's going to be doing that right now. He's probably watching right now. He probably is like, what the hell, they're talking about me? And he's probably going to fight me later tonight. But no, he does a great job as always, and he's going to be very prepared. And I'm going to be very excited to meet Andy Molitor, his co-host, which I hope he brings the knife. That would spice up the show. I'll admit it.
Okay. You ready to go, Jose Bouquett?
I am, Pete. Let's get into a little Mets-Pirates action to start it off, huh?
Yeah, let's start it off. And I do have the money numbers and the Sports Insights possible betting value, suggested betting value. Thanks. Shout out to Jimmy the Bag once again. All right, so Mets and Pittsburgh. The Pirates, are often a team that is a huge underdog, but nevertheless has a little bit of betting value because they win a little bit more than the market is giving them credit for. That has notably not been the case with Pittsburgh. Recently, they've been a big underdog in most games, and their actual results have been even worse than the market has been giving them credit for over the past 20 games or so. Still, I think that is has a lot to do with variance, and it is definitely true that Sports Insight suggests that there's full value on Pittsburgh as a huge home underdog. Tiny percent of the here, let me just look at this. Tiny percent of the bets, 15% of the bets on Pittsburgh, 86% of the money is on Pittsburgh. So that means that a whole lot of people who don't have a lot of faith or money in what they do are betting on the Mets, and a few people who really take huge shots are putting it up on Pittsburgh. And I understand that. I did bet on the overnight line, the under. I bet the under at 8.5. My notes say obviously Pittsburgh is the likely play here, but I didn't pull the trigger on that just because they have been so bad. And the Mets, have been struggling quite a bit. Going into Pittsburgh as a big favorite is always something that I want to fade. But for a team that is legit quality after coming off of 2 straight embarrassing home losses, I'm hesitant a little bit to pull the trigger on that. So I didn't bet Pittsburgh yet, although normally I would have. I did bet the under at 8.5. Mitch Keller, decent, nice 10 strikeout start last out. He's not going to be lights out, but probably in this spot will be serviceable. And then Walker for the Mets, again, a bit of a guessing situation for him. In his career, has had a history of health issues. He had the back spasms 3 starts ago where he left after 2 innings, and then since then made 2 starts okay. 5-inning, 3-run type starts against good offenses. I think, after this start, we might want to look to fade him. But here, I think we can probably assume he'll have another 5-inning, 2 or 3-run type start again. So I'm liking the under. Jose Bouquett, what's your take on this one?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't have a firm opinion on it. Mets aren't really hitting the ball all too well, truthfully, for their standards at least. 12th, 104 weighted runs created plus in the last 2 weeks. And the Pirates, second to last, 56, don't want to give them an extra one. 56 weighted runs created plus against righties as well. But I mean, the thing that perked my ears obviously was that full line value. I mean, if there's full line value, I would like to move on the Pirates in some form or fashion. Shout out to Dav Fan if he's watching. I'd love to know how it's been doing recently. If not, put it in the comments after the video. I definitely want to know how it's been up to recently. But it'd be a pass game for me ultimately. But definitely the full line value has me interested in the Pirates.
Yeah, Mally Mal says Mitch Keller coming off of his best game of the season. He was coming off of a great one. 10 strikeout game, did give up a home run. But, and Keller is a guy who is, when he has a strong quality start with 10 strikeouts, it's not where did that come from? It's like that's less likely than if he struggles a little bit. But, he's a guy who I would expect to have, a legit quality start, a third of the time, if not a little bit more. And this feels like it's, I don't think he's going to get crushed here. The Mets, there's something a little bit sluggish about them right now, Jose Bouquett. They lost not once, but twice to Washington as a massive favorite. Now, Washington is clearly, they're playing a lot of young guys, classic September team that's been horrible all season long. Huge underdog, game in and game out in September, but clearly better than the market's giving them credit for. So, it's not a shock that Washington beat them twice in a row recently, but it is a little bit of a shock that the Mets couldn't get to Corbin or Fedde offensively.
Yeah, actually, I was trying to mentally get myself to back the Nats in those starts too. It was sickening that I didn't, but I think the Mets against lefties is a concern, and I'm going to be concerned about it going into the playoffs because the Dodgers and Atlanta both have some very quality lefties that they could throw against them. So it's going to be a concern going forward. I think maybe they just kind of put it in cruise control, but obviously they've got the Braves right behind them, so I don't know. It's just a tough spot. It's weird that they're dipping right now, honestly. It's maybe just ebbs and flows of baseball at the end of the day, really.
Yeah, you at this point in the season, you tend to see the good teams not dip. You might see that close to the All-Star break. A little bit more of the money is a little bit more of the bets are on the over. A little bit more of the money is on the under. That's not a surprise either. Again, my leans were Pittsburgh and the under. Didn't bet Pittsburgh. Did bet the under. And Viper NB47 says Mitch is going to get smoked. Why do you think that, Viper? Oh, sorry, I didn't realize Viper's not on the comment section.
No. He's probably typing away furiously right now. We can just sit here quietly until Viper comes. That would really build up the suspense. That would be really hilarious.
All right. So I guess we're going to. I don't know. Should I take the under? What's your take on Taijuan Walker right now?
His last 2 appearances, and by the way, shout out to Dav Fan. I did ask for you. I was asking how the line value has been doing recently, Dav Fan, but shout out to you, my man. I didn't call you out in a negative way, but yes, he said thanks. Last 2 starts for him, Dodgers, obviously Dodgers always a tough team, but 5 1/3, 3 earned runs there. Matt and the Yankees, 5 innings, 2 earned runs there. I think I'm a little higher on Taijuan Walker than most people are. When most people see Taijuan Walker, they automatically think fade. I'm probably on the opposite candidate. I kind of like him, but I don't like him enough to back him at the end of the day. But it's definitely Pirates or pass for me.
He says he just has no faith in Mitch. All right, you know what? I don't love the fact that the line appears to have gotten that the total appears to be headed up a little bit, despite the fact that Sports Insight is saying that the bigger bets are coming in on the under. Man, and what's your take on the Mets lineup? You think that was just a little bit of a fluke variance the last 2 games where they struggled unexpectedly? Because I did have their team total overs both against Corbin and against Fedde. Yes, I did. I bet sized appropriately, but I took a huge shot against Corbin. It was justifiable to me, but I lost it. What's your take on the Mets offense right now?
Like I said, I said at the 12th. Yeah, 12th. I kind of expect them to always be top 10 if they're solid ball club. So I think they're down a little bit right now for sure.
All right, I'll make we'll start it off. First game, I'll make it official. Under 8.5. Current line is minus 111 at Pinnacle. Again, we'll see where it closes, but a little bit concerning that it's headed up as of right now. But I'll make that official. Mets Pittsburgh under 8.5 minus 111. I bet it on the overnight line. I'll hold off right now on the Pittsburgh huge money line. Although it's obvious that is probably the way to go. And again, full line value, according to Sports Insights, for Pittsburgh.
All right, beautiful. I'm excited to hear your take on this next game, Peter.
All right, which I'm not sure exactly which order we're going, but let's see. Next game, Boston, Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah, Boston, Tampa Bay. Pete, we'll let it ride. You pick whatever game you want.
Okay.
We'll let it ride. I'm excited. This is going to be an interesting show today. No order. We're punching from the hips today, Pete.
We're going to do the best that we can, Rasmussen, obviously, very reliable, should be strong, should be near lights out again. I did bet Boston first 5 team total under at 1.5. I think I got like one. I don't remember the exact line I got, but I did bet Boston first 5 team total under 1.5. Be a little bit surprised if Boston gets to them for 2. But again, I bet sized appropriately, so if they do, that's fine. I did also bet the Rays first 5 minus 160. Hill, got hit last start, but before that had an unexpectedly awesome start against Tampa Bay, and he has been great against Tampa Bay in his career, although most of those starts were 5 years ago or earlier. But this year, again, has pitched two appearances against them, both excellent. Last one was shocking at Fenway, 7 shutout innings. And, I thought Tampa Bay is like the smart ball club, right? They can figure out how to hit anyone, and especially if someone gets to them, then they're the team that's going to make adjustments and get to the guy the next time. Hill appears to have their number, but the reason I took the first 5 is because even if Hill out of nowhere has a 5-inning shutout or 1-run start, it's entirely possible, I would say likely, that Rasmussen bails you out by having his own 5-inning, shutout or 1-run start. So again, I bet sized appropriately. I did bet Boston first 5 team total under. did bet Tampa Bay first 5, and I'll probably give one or both of those as an official pick right now. Hill having Tampa Bay's number, I think, is a little bit fluky and due to variance, although the matchup is better for him against them than most teams. But I think they'll get to him for at least a couple in this situation. What do you think, Jose?
This was a very interesting game for me because I immediately wrote Rays first 5 too. That was my first instinct, one of the first plays. And this is when I was capping the game last night, so the lines weren't even available yet. But Rich Hill's success against the Tampa Bay Rays does scare me a little bit. I will admit that. His last start, like you mentioned, that 7-inning, 11K performance
at Fenway. Where did that come from?
It's apparently he made this big change. He just put the speed on overdrive. He just goes up there, throw, no time between pitches, just kept quick pitching the Rays, got them off balance, and it kind of just fucked them up. Do I think they can make that adjustment? Yeah, I think that's a pretty easy adjustment to make. Just get in the box and get ready to hit, step out, whatever. Just slow Rich Hill down. They weren't expecting it the first time. I think they'll be ready for it the second time. I think the Rays win here. I'm going to take Rays first 5 -0.5 at -120 because I'm not the juice man here. But Rays first 5 for me too. And another concern, obviously, here, the Red Sox offense. The Red Sox offense is back. They're second right now against righties. This last 2 weeks, 130 weighted runs created plus. The infield for the future is up. Their solidified infield is up. Tristan Casas is going to be very exciting. He's going to be very good. Devers is there. Bogarts is there. Trevor Story is healthy. Kike is back. Just signed an extension. So I would just be I am a little concerned on that aspect, but I'm going to trust Drew being a dominant at home, being a very good pitcher. So I took Rays first 5 -1/2.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, Boston's offense is back, but fundamentally, I think they're still not that good. And even if they were back, I mean, if Rasmussen was facing Toronto today, I'd still think, he's still going to have a 5-inning 1-run start. I mean, Rasmussen looks like a legitimate neutralizer of most lineups, right?
Yeah, at home especially. That's the key thing. If this was in Fenway, I'd lean more towards the Red Sox, but at home, I could pull up his home road splits right now real quick. But at home, he's a dominator, and we knew that. Like, I think it was almost perfect game. He lost it, and that was at home as well. And by the way, a 1.97 ERA at home compared to a 3.59 on the road. So, and
as far as the betting, 89% of the tickets are on Tampa Bay. So you got to assume that a lower percentage of the money would be on them. No, a higher percentage of the money. 92% of the money is on Tampa Bay. So there's, as of right now, no big bets coming in on the other side on Boston. I think that's a good sign. I'm also looking at Pinnacle. And for some reason, Pinnacle only has 4 MLB games up right now, and I'm not seeing this one anymore. So that's not good. So I'm not going to be able to quote a Pinnacle line right now. But I will take both of the plays that I mentioned. Tampa Bay, first 5 at the Heritage -160, and the Red Sox first 5 team total under 1.5 at -135. Those are both Heritage lines right now. Probably Pinnacle has better, but that game is not being listed at Pinnacle right now. Not exactly sure what's up with that, but okay, that happens sometimes. I'll take the Heritage lines right now for both of those. Rays first 5, Boston first 5 team total under. Don't really see any reason why we would expect Rasmussen not to have another extremely strong 5-inning start. Maybe someone in the comment section does. Let's see. Nasty Nate, Red Sox smash.
That's a non-biased. I mean, obviously a non-biased answer too.
Non-biased answer. Mike M saying with reverse movement against them. Yeah, has the line gone down a little bit? Let me see.
I'm about to say I don't have the line histories, but I think I saw this at the same thing. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I mean, when I first capped this on the overnight line, Tampa Bay was about -150. Now I'm seeing them about -160, so I'm not seeing yet any movement towards Boston. That's what Mike M said that, I'm not seeing any reverse movement, Mike M. All right, let's look at some other comments, just see if anyone has anything to say. Mike M says 9 wins in a row is a favorite. Yes. Rodney Molina likes the full game team total under for Boston. I would agree with that. Let's see. Yeah, Rodney Molina liking it. Viper N says lean Rays, but this line seems inflated. Actually, do you think this line seems inflated? Like switch out Rasmussen for Scherzer or some other huge name. This line would be minus 240. You know?
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I thought it was a little much just because of the offenses, but I probably at the end of the day would agree. It should be around minus 170. So
top set. I think value is on Boston. Yeah.
The Rays right now 15th in the last 2 weeks against lefties, 109 weighted runs created plus. So
Jesse Galante. I was on Rays yesterday. I think the Sox will win today. Okay. So a lot of opinions are coming in liking the Sox.
I will say that low total of 7, like Alex Hills is saying, does kind of make me feel maybe Rich Hill does it again.
I mean, the under makes sense to me. I don't think Rich Hill's going to get smashed, of course, but I think we're going to see 5-3 from Hill, maybe 5-1 from Rasmussen, and then 1 or 2 runs after that, and then the game sneaks in. I would agree with the under, but not because I think the Rays are a bad play or that Hill's going to pitch well enough to make the Sox a good play.
Fair enough. All right, Pete, is that any
other?
Yeah,
that's it. I hope we're keeping a brisk pace. I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun.
We're absolutely not keeping a brisk pace.
Are we not? Okay. Well, but we're giving a lot of good information. I think that we'll review it later. All right. Next game on the docket. I have Miami Philly. You ready?
Yes. This is the next game I also have. But this game seems like it's going to be rained out, Pete. Just a heads up.
Yeah, I'm seeing probably canceled. I don't know. I checked it. It looks like the rain is kind of east of the stadium. Might be able to get it in. All right, we'll talk about it anyway. I suspect this one is going to get played, not the Yankees game, but I suspect this one will get played. We'll talk about it quickly. All right, Jose?
Yeah, let's go into it.
Nola crushed last start. That's happened multiple times this year, but he usually bounces back strong. He's going to have a start where he gets crushed, 20% of the time. The other 80% of the time, he's good to great. Of course, Miami can easily be held down. Rarely do they score more than 2 or 3 runs recently, especially against a quality righty. So I did bet Miami first 5 team total under. I already bet that. I did take a small shot as well with Philly -1. Luzardo is also solid and strong, but he usually gives up a few, meaning like 1 or 2, and that might be all Philly needs here. I think that Nola's going to have a strong start here. Be very, very surprised if Miami scores more than 2 in this one, and Luzardo might not go deep. Philly a little bit salty from having lost recently, so I did take small shots with the Miami first 5 team total under and Philly -1. What do you think, Jose?
It's funny, Pete. Are we just kind of going against each other today?
You like Miami, huh?
I do like Miami. I believe in baby Jesus, Jesus Luzardo.
Mm-hmm.
That start against the Tampa Bay Rays last time out, 5 runs, only 3 of them earned, 4 Ks, 2 walks. Had an okay start against, I'm going to say it's a good start against Oakland, actually. 7 innings of 2 earned run balls is good here. The Miami offense is obviously the big hurdle we have to overcome every time. But I was thinking first 5 under here, perhaps, because I think Jesus pitches well. 3.5 -120 is a little scary. But I definitely do not hate a Miami Marlins first 5 +0.5 at +105. Aaron Nola, for some reason, not pitching well at home this year, a 404 average and 82 in the 3rd innings pitched compared to a 285 on the road. So I definitely would not hate a Miami spot here. It's just the offense. It's every time I want to bet the Miami Marlins, but the main hurdles is the offense going to do anything today? I mean, obviously the Phillies 9th against lefties is concerning, 119 weighted runs created plus, a big test for Jesus Luzardo today. So we'll see how he fares, but I wouldn't hate that 0-0 first 5 and give me a get out of here saying +0.5.
Yeah, I mean Nola. At home against quality lineups, yes, I would be concerned. It's obviously can be a hitter friendly park, but at home against righty heavy weak lineups, I think he can be relied on to be close to lights out. Exhibit A for that is his last home start against Cincinnati, a righty-heavy lineup that can be held down. Absolutely dominant shutout start. And his home start before that was a great start against Washington. Home start before that got hit by Atlanta. Atlanta is a fearsome lineup. Start before that, Washington got hit a little bit. Before that, Atlanta hit him. And then before that, at home against Miami, 7 innings and 2 runs. So I think that Nola is going to be. I think it's a good bet that Nola will have one of his elite, close to lights out starts here, and that's why even taking Miami in any way makes me nervous. Even though I agree with you, first 5 under is not bad. I kind of like that as well because I do think Luzardo is not going to get crushed. I think he'll give up a couple, but nothing worse than that.
Yeah, I don't have enough confidence to move on it officially, but that's just be a lean here. I think the Phillies lineup being 9th against lefties is scary enough for me to get off of it. But I'll say this: beware of the September Phillies because they have been scuffling as of late, and it is a very much a Philadelphia tradition for the Philadelphia Phillies to start folding in September and fall deeper and deeper into this hole. 4-6 their last 10 on a 3-game losing streak. I wanted to check the wild card standings real quick because there's no way they can fall out, right? The Brewers are only 2 games back of the Padres and Phillies, so just be careful. Be careful, Phillies fans. Be careful.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to make, again, I can't find the Pinnacle line for this game right now, so that'll be a better line. But I'll take the Heritage line. Miami, first 5, team total under 1.5, minus 165. And let's quickly look at the money here. What do we have? Yeah, all the tickets. All right, yeah. 80% of the tickets are on Philly, but only 60% of the cash. So some decent-sized bets on Miami. That would be expected. And Sports Insights indicates a tiny value on Miami, very small, but about 20% value on Miami, which doesn't surprise me. I don't quite agree with it. It doesn't surprise me. And the money and the tickets are about split on the total, about 50-50 both ways. So yeah, I'm going to stick with just Nola pitching well, and take the Miami first 5 team total under.
Beautiful. All righty. Next game, I'm going to guess, is your beloved New York Yankees, huh?
See, the next game on the card I have Minnesota Yankees. This one I think is going to get rained out. I checked the weather report. It's just going to be stationary rain. Slight chance that the actual rain over the stadium will be lighter and they'll play through it. But if you want to cap this, I think it's going to be. I mean, if it doesn't get rained,
you're the man on the streets there, Pete. You could go put your hand outside and figure it out right now.
I don't think this game's going to go. If it does, though, I would definitely be leaning under at 7 with Cole and Ryan starting and the weather as it is right now. The Yankees are just still sluggish offensively in general. Cole's been pitching well. Ryan pounded in his last start, but I think he's going to be better here if the game goes. So I predict it's going to get rained out, but if it doesn't get rained out, I will definitely be looking pretty hard on first 5 under and full game under.
Cool. I probably agree with you. I have no opinion on this game. I just think it's funny that Garrett Cole and Joe Ryan have the same record.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. Ricky Bobby says, hopefully the rain stops. It's supposed to be around 40% chance of rain around game time. All right. I guess
the last game, I believe.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. Mally Mouse says raining here in the Bronx. You want to just you want to move on?
Yes, let's move on. Toronto, Baltimore, I assume.
Yeah, the next one I have is Toronto, Baltimore. Okay. Baltimore, quality team, just got swept. Toronto, of course, everyone talks about this ad nauseum. What a crazy year they've had. A strong lineup. At times, they have at extended periods where they've just flamed out and just not really been in the game. Then at other times, they are just beating all comers in all places, especially on the road. Jimmy the Bag's had a particularly good read on Toronto all season long. And then you got Bradish starting for Baltimore, who is, a guy with quality stuff, young guy with quality stuff, struggled earlier in the year, but now has put 2 awesome starts in a row together. That happens all the time, of course, in baseball. A guy with quality stuff struggling, and you're thinking, does this guy just suck? The answer is no. He's got great stuff. He just needs to work it out. And at some point, that is very likely to happen. And that looks like what has happened with Bradish here. Mitch White on the other side is, a little bit iffy, but he probably won't go too late. Too deep. The Toronto bullpen has suddenly become awesome one of the top 5 in the majors at this point.
I'm glad I was on that bandwagon early. I'm just going to say that now. Glad I was on that bandwagon early while Jimmy was shitting all over the bullpen. Hey, that trade was good. Give us some time. Yeah. I think it's going to be nice.
So I did take a shot with the under at 8.5, expecting that Bradish will have another decent start and that White will be okay. Only question is Toronto just turning the corner now, and they're just crushing anyone? I don't think they'd crush, as I said, I don't think they'd crush Rasmussen right now. Maybe they would, though. Lean to Baltimore, stronger lean to the under. I did bet both of them. I bet the under a little bit bigger. I did take a small shot with the Toronto first 5 team total under as well. I'm just a believer right now in Bradish. I think he'll be 5 innings, 2 or 3 at worst. If it's 3, the team total will lose. If it's 2, it'll win. I'll check the money right now, but I definitely have to be thinking and leaning Baltimore and the under. What do you think, Jose?
Yeah, I think this game was just a little bit too hard to parse for me, honestly. I ultimately saw this game and I was like, minus 110. You know what? I'll pass on this game because this is going to be a good game to watch. I think eventually the clock has to strike midnight on Kyle Bradish. I think he's got to regress a little bit here. His last 2 7 and 8 inning shutout performances were great. I don't know how long that will last, but I don't know if the Blue Jays have the offense to do it right now. They're always up and down. They're 15th, 99 weighted runs created plus in the last 2 weeks, so about average. Mitch White got crushed in his last 2 appearances. Does he just hate pitching in Toronto? I guess we'll find out here today. I don't know. So I ultimately pass on this game for sure.
Yeah, I mean, White is mediocre. Bradish, sure, he'll regress from his last 2 starts, but I suspect he'll regress back to decent. The money, as far as the side is concerned, 50-50 on both sides in terms of both the bet count and the money. The total is interesting. 88% of the tickets are on the over, but the total is just 50-50. 49% of the cash is on the under. So 12% of the tickets are on the under. 49% of the cash is on the under. I bet the under myself overnight, and maybe I will make that official. Let's see what the comment section has to say about this very interesting game. Joe Yurkovich, I'm on the over. Toronto's seen Bradish 3 other times, and White is definitely sketchy. And yeah, Toronto right now looks like they're rolling and going to hit anyone. Let's see.
By the way, our friend Sky Dragon here said they put Bobo back in 3rd. About effing time. Jay's serious now. The World Series run started yesterday.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Toronto, people are scratching their heads all season long about what to make of them going forward. Right now, we thought all season long that the O's are an undervalued team, quality team that's more likely to win and cash for you than not. And Toronto is a shaky team where you have to be careful about betting on them, especially as a favorite. But that might be reversing now. Maybe the O's are regressing back a little bit towards mediocrity, and the Jays are coming closer to their on-paper potential. All right, I'll hold off. I did bet the O's and the under bigger. More money is coming in on the under, but I think officially right now, a little bit scared of Toronto, and I'll hold off.
Beautiful. All right, Cubs, okay. Reds.
Next game I have is Cubs Reds. Wade Miley starting for the Cubs, and of course, he hasn't pitched since June. What to expect? His minor league rehab starts weren't that good. Of course, he is a quality veteran major league starter, and we've seen this before. A lot of times, these guys in their mid-30s who are not awesome, but decent, reliable veterans coming back from an injury, have some rehab starts that aren't good, and you think, is this guy going to get crushed? Sometimes they do, but more often than not, they're fine and they're in decent form and they have a decent run of starts when they return. I'm not so sure about Miley, and Justin Dunn also is a guy who is maybe has a little bit of a positive trajectory, right? His first 2 starts were not good. The last 3 starts were better. I mentioned that in his last start that I didn't necessarily want to fade him because it looked like he was improving a little bit. So at the big line, I didn't really want to pull the trigger on Cincinnati, but considering my read on Miley and Dunn and the line at the moment, and the Cubs, have an offense that can be held down a bit. Cubs, returning from a long trip. I did take a shot with Cincinnati. I took them a small shot with them first 5 and full game just because of the line. At like plus 115, I wouldn't have done it. But at plus 140, I did pull the trigger on both of those. I'll look at the money. We'll look at the comment section. Jose Bouquett, what do you think? Cincinnati too big of a dog here?
I agree. I'm a Justin Dunn guy. I've been on him. And it's kind of worked in mixed results. Like, he's pitched well, but the Reds offense just didn't come to play in some of those instances. So it's not been like a positive gambling situation, but he's still been pitching well. I still like what he does. And Wade Miley, you're right. I mean, the Swamp Monster here, I ultimately do not trust. 5 rehab starts. And what the weird part about it was he had a long break in between the last 2 is like one was on like the 15th, and then his very last one was like on the 30th. I was like, okay, that's weird. Whatever. Maybe feeling a little sore. I don't trust it. I'm going to fade him here. The Cubs offense, 2670 weighted runs created plus against righties in the last 2 weeks. And while the Reds right now are 110 weighted runs created plus against lefties, 14th the last 2 weeks. So I will also be taking a shot with the Cincinnati Reds. First 5 money line here with you as well. I've got it at plus 130 for me.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I mean, I'm not. This spot isn't necessarily I'm not necessarily down on Miley here. It's more that Dunn and the lineups and the line as a big underdog puts me on them. Joe Yurkovich, I'm on the Reds. Cubs pen figures to get more work here. Pen is bad right now. Dunn getting to be respectable. I agree with. I agree with all that. And as far as the money is concerned, teeny line value suggested on Cincinnati, which is nice, although for comparison's sake, slightly less line value than suggested on Miami. But about 65% of the tickets on the Cubs, 57% of the cash on the Reds. A little bit more money on the Reds. The total, the money, and the tickets are all coming in on the under, which is interesting. There is a wind blowing in, but it's not a huge wind. There's often overreactions on the total to wind reports at Wrigley, and the wind I'm seeing, unless you're seeing anything different, I'm seeing a 7-mile-an-hour wind. Which, if you've ever stood in or been in a ballpark where there's a 7-mile-an-hour wind, you realize that's just not that big. It's okay, but it's not that big of a deal, right?
Yeah, it's blowing in. I don't bring my odometer to games, so I never know how hard it's blowing, truthfully. But yeah, it's blowing in, so I guess a little concern, but it's ultimately not, I guess, that big of a factor. For me, obviously, Wrigley is one of the only fields that wind truly matters in, and I think it matters when it's like 15.
Yeah. Mike M saying that big bets coming in on the Reds, but line moving to the Cubs. I haven't checked the recent micro movements, but as far as from the overnight line, it's about the same. It is about 5 cents higher for the Cubs right now than the overnight line, which I think is interesting. We'll see where it closes, though. I'm not sure I agree with that. The Pinnacle lines are up, so I'm going to take Cincinnati, and I'm actually I think there's high volatility here. My numbers indicate high volatility. I'm going to take the Reds -1 at plus 195. That's going to be an official play. Reds -1 plus 195. I'd love to take the Reds first 5 as well, but I don't really want to double up on it, so I will hold off on that one. And I'm also going to I'm also going to take quote Pinnacle lines for my first 5 picks as well, just because they'll probably be a little bit better. So Miami first 5 team total under. What is that? Miami. First 5 team total on. Oh no, it's -166. Okay, so I'll keep the Heritage one, and then the Boston lines. I will check that very quickly. Just full transparency here. So I'm going to make sure everything gets quoted. First half Rays -168. Okay, no, so I'll keep the 160, and then the first half team total under for Boston is -127. So that's the line I'll use there. Boston, first 5 team total under, 1.5 -127. And again, I'll take Cincinnati -1 as an official play. All right, you want to move on, Jose?
Yeah, real quick. What was the juice you got on Miami team total under there? The first 5 is under 1.5 minus what?
-165. That's the current line at Heritage. Pinnacle has 166. which is interesting.
Beautiful. All right, Nationals, Cardinals.
Washington and St. Louis. If anyone had Washington in either of their last 2 games against the Mets as a massive underdog, raise your hand. I didn't. Jose?
I did not. I was too scared.
No, I certainly did not. If anyone bet the Mets as a massive favorite in both of those games, raise your hand. Jose?
Nothing. I passed.
No. Come on, Jose. Raise your fucking head. No? Good for you.
Didn't look at him. Passed. Just passed. Nothing for me there.
You know, I've been auto-fading Corbin all season long and doing great with it. Did it again that game. Got burned. And then thought it was a big bounce-back spot the next day against Fetty. Got burned. Okay. Washington, again, though, is a team that is clearly significantly undervalued right now. And you see this almost every year in MLB with at least one team in September, sometimes 2, partially. Again, teams that are just bottom feeder teams that are horrible all year long, losing all year long.
Yeah, there's 2 actually. I'll tell you the second one later on in the card.
Yeah, but the point is you see this every year. A lot of times it's like KC or something like that. And then in September, they bring up all their young guys, still a big dog, or sometimes even a bigger dog because people are like, oh, now there's all these young guys are coming up. Who are these guys? And they wind up winning more often than they should, sometimes winning game in and game out, which is actually what's happening here with Washington. So, in this spot, I would be all over St. Louis if it was like minus 160, but at minus 250, absolutely no way could I take that. I didn't pull the trigger on Washington in this one, though, because St. Louis, again, does have a great offense. They were talking about how yesterday they just didn't have it. They'll be back here. Quintana is overall pretty solid. So I didn't pull the trigger on Washington yet. Small lean to the under as well. Statistically, my numbers like that. Although, St. Louis can explode, and explosion against Espino is not at all unexpected. So it's been a pass for me so far. My leans on the overnight were to Washington as a huge dog and the under. Didn't bet either of those. Jose Bouquett, tell us what you think while I check the money and check the comment section.
I think it's hilarious that the Nationals just keep on winning. They won last night, I believe, as well. So it's just hilarious to see. I have nothing on this game. Paulo Espino scares the shit out of me. I think every other pitcher on the Nationals I could talk myself into backing. But Paulo, I don't know what it is about Paulo Espino. Maybe it's the 0-6 record that scares me. Maybe if there's just a 1 in there, I'd be a little more willing to do it. But his last 2 appearances have not been bad. Versus Oakland. Shitty team, obviously. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run there. 6 Ks, no walks. Take that every time. Cincinnati, another shitty team. 5 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs there. You take that. While our friend Jose Quintana, 4 2/3, 2 earned run against the Reds himself. 5 innings, 4 runs, 2 of them earned against Atlanta. I don't know. Maybe even consider a first 5 under here if you trust Paulo Espino that much. But yeah, it's another pass game for me. Yeah. I just can't get there with him.
It's going to be a pass for me as well. I mean, Espino is a classic guy. A lot of pitchers who are like this, extremely uninspiring, but a third of the time can be relied on to give a 5-inning 1 or 2 run start against shitty lineups. This is not one of those spots, though. St. Louis, of course, we all know. I won't quote the numbers, but their offensive numbers are extremely impressive this year. And especially recently, better than everyone else, better than the Dodgers, the Jays, the Yanks, all of them. St. Louis really hitting well. So off a shutout, I'm not going to take Washington. It's just going to be a pass for me. Sports Insights, though, indicates, of course, not a shock here, full value on the Nationals at the current line. 19% of the tickets are on Washington. 58% of the cash is on Washington. Not a surprise there. And as far as the total is concerned, look at that. 54% of the tickets on the under. 96% of the cash on the under. Wow. Huge bets coming in on the under. That's what I was thinking as well. I didn't bet it, but that was definitely my stats indicated that was a good bet. But the St. Louis lineup against Espino coming off a shutout. And then Quintana again. I think Quintana is going to have a good start, but not lights out. This Washington lineup is definitely productive right now. They'll get to him for a couple. So I held off. My stats said take the under definitely. My gut said pass. And It's probably a bad idea to bet based on gut feel, but it's perfectly fine to pass. It's great. It's perfectly fine to pass based on any rationale at all times. But yeah, so go ahead, Jose.
No, I was just going to agree with you. The stats say under. My gut says no, thank you.
Yeah, Wu Riza says can't ride Espino. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, so give me a pass for me. Let's move on. You ready, Jose?
Yep.
All right, Cleveland, KC. That's the next one?
Yep.
Okay, KC, obviously a huge underdog. Cleveland, for a while had an awesome pen. That one's tailed off. And their lineup has been sluggish for a while now, and particularly subpar against lefties in general. Now, Bubic, vulnerable in general. I've been fading him successfully in spots all season long. Had a pretty good read on him in general. Mostly managed to figure out when to bet on him and when to avoid him. He usually gets hit or has control issues. Pretty uninspiring. Has a lot of talent, but pretty uninspiring. But just absolutely cannot bet the Indians with their line. Sorry, the Guardians. Jeez.
Oh
my God.
Oh no.
I'm going to get canceled. I'd just like to say to all low baggers, to everyone who's been watching me for all these years, thank you. I appreciate all your support all these years. And I just want to say thank you. This is, after I get canceled, this will probably be my last show. But
got his ass.
We're going to finish this show. We're going to finish out a bang, and we're going to have a good time. All right, so the Guardians. I just cannot take them with the current lineup as this big of a road favorite, and against the KC Royals, is it still Royals, right? KC Royals, not quite Washington level right now, but definitely a young team with some life to them that is somewhat regularly undervalued as a big underdog. And that looks like the case here. The problem though is just that I don't want to bet on KC because Bieber is solid, consistent. Should be okay here. I have to assume 7 innings and 3 runs at worst. Probably a little bit better than that. So can't take a shot there. The only thing I'd lean towards is the under, slight lean to the under. But I didn't bet that one. I think it's going to be another pass for me. Jose Bouquett, I'm going to check the money and the comment section. What do you think about this one?
Well, I will definitely try to fill time for you here, Pete, because I am passing on this game too. Shane Bieber. I don't know. I've just been so back and forth on Shane Bieber this year. He kind of struggles against Baltimore, three in runs there. It was a big appearance for him because obviously Baltimore right there in the playoff hunt, the Guardians, a division leader. So I would say it's a big start. He did give up 3 home runs, which were the 3 earned runs there, which I guess makes me feel a little better about the starts. I always think home runs can be a little fluky. Shout out to Joe Ryan. And Seattle last time out for him, 2 runs, one of them earned 9 Ks, no walks. So it's tough to go against them. Though the Royals have been hitting well recently, 11, 5 weighted runs created plus. Yeah, they've been a little hot recently. Just a little scared to bet on Bubic and bet on the Royals here.
As you would expect, not a surprise at all. Tiny percentage of tickets are on KC. Much bigger percentage of the money is on KC. I'm seeing about 10 or 15% of the tickets on KC, about 50% of the money on KC. So small line value indicated towards KC, and I guess that is how I would lean as well. The total, all the money, not all the money, most of the money and most of the tickets are coming in on the under. 70% of the tickets on the under, 80% of the money on the under. I would agree with that as well. Lean to KC, bigger lean to the under. Don't think I can pull the trigger on it, but I'll probably have a bet on the under. Just don't necessarily want to make either of those official as of right now. We'll check the comment section quickly, and then we'll move on. Mike M says Bieber not great last outing versus KC. Think he wants his revenge tonight? Yeah, I think that that I expect a good start from Bieber again. 7-3 at absolute worst, but more likely a bit better. 7-1 more likely. Jeffrey Blue says Bieber K-prop. That might not be bad. And top set, Elio Rodriguez likes the under, which I would agree with as well. And the money seems to be going that way too. All right, let's move on, Jose Bouquett. How about that?
Yes, let's move on to what I call the Blackout Bowl, the Texas Bowl.
Yeah, Texas and Houston. Interesting. Yesterday, of course, Houston debuted one of their young studs, and I had the under in that one. Did not take either side, but I had a good read on that one. Valdez is awesome, right? Never lights out, but always solid. Really impressively reliable, which is kind of rare. Well, in baseball, you usually see stuff like Aaron Nola, where a guy's like, close to lights out or lights out 80% of the time, and then 20% of the time gives up 5 runs. Valdez is very, very, very reliable, which is a good thing because, Wainwright used to be like that. Those are the kinds of guys where you can, where you can bet like a team total under at 3.5 as a huge favorite, or a first 5 team total under at 1.5, and not worry about the juice. Whereas a guy like Nola, if you're betting a team total under with big juice, that's a lot more risky. So Valdez, I don't mind at all taking big favorite lines with him. And then on the other side, Otto, his peripherals don't look good. He often has control issues. Or if he doesn't have control issues, he gets hit. His last start against Boston was very typical. He did manage to conquer his control issues in that one, but he still gave up a bunch of runs. Better on the road, seems vulnerable in general. But Houston's a tough lineup. Of course, Houston's pen right now is arguably tops in the majors. Definitely top 5. So I'm seeing a vulnerable starter for Texas. Very, very reliable starter for Houston, and then a nice pen after him, and then a significant lineup edge as well for Houston. So I got to admit, I'm leaning a little bit. Houston -1 maybe. What do you think, Jose Bouquett? I don't even need to check Sports Insights probably. I'm sure they're saying at least a little line value with Texas, a huge dog. What do you think, Jose?
Yeah, I did this last week. I was on the Rangers against Framber last time. Dominated. No thanks. I love Framber Valdez. He's one of my favorite pitchers in baseball, and I think he probably dominates here today. So I would be on the Astros, but 2 juice. Wouldn't hate a -1, -2 line, which you mentioned, Pete, but I ultimately passing here today.
Yeah, I mean, Valdez is, I have my numbers here, extremely low volatility combined with excellence, which is kind of rare. Wainwright is when Cole was able to use the sticky tack stuff and he was on his game. Valdez isn't quite at that level. His quality is a notch below elite, but it's close to elite. It's very, very excellent and very reliable. He does usually give up a few, rarely lights out. But Otto, what's your take on Otto? My numbers hate him, but he continuously outperforms what my numbers expect from him. What's your take on Otto? Hard one. I asked the tough questions, Jose.
Thank you. I know. I appreciate it. I'm just thinking about the memes that the kids would make if you start betting on Glenn Otto fade.
Mm-hmm.
And you start losing, the teenagers, the youths saying, "Oh, you bet on Glenn Otto fade?" Mm-hmm. So I think he's an all right pitcher. I just think he needs more time. I've been a fan of his for a little bit. His Red Sox start was better than I think he thought. 3 earned runs through 5 AKs, 1 walks, acceptable. Take that every time for fewer of the Rangers, but bullpen combination there sucks too. So if you had to take the Rangers, I would take them like a first 5 plus a half. But I think at the end of the day, the bullpen will capitulate for you, and then Astros win this game.
I was going to pass on this one, except I see my man, Big Ragu 62, saying Otto's going to get smashed. Shout out to Big Ragu. Yo, everyone watching right now, trust me, watch Big Ragu's college football shows every week. They are great and awesome and gold. Big Ragu, thank you so much for BYU last week. I was watching that video. I saw you say, Big BYU, it's going to be over in the first half. I was like, no problem. Pounded BYU first quarter and first half. Thank you. And it was. over in the first half, just like you said. Shout out to Big Ragu 62. Yeah. Otto's going to get smashed, and that's the thing. You don't really need him to get smashed to still get a win or a push at a -1. Even if he doesn't get smashed, I still don't necessarily hate the bet. You know what I'm saying, Jose?
Yeah, I agree completely, especially with the bullpens, like I was mentioning. So the bullpen. And by the way, shout out to Big Ragu for joining me this past week as well. The college football week was crazy. I suffered one of my most crushing defeats in my life this week. That week, so it was very exciting. I was at the UTSA Houston game.
Oh,
I was front row. I watched the game back and I saw myself many times. Actually, it was sickening. It was sickening. Yeah,
that's another one. That's another one. I had a winner on that one. I had the UTSA team total overs, first half and full game, both of them cashed from watching the motherfucking Big Ragu and DJ Big Boss show. Shout out to Big Ragu and DJ Big Boss wherever you are right now.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. I had UTSA spread, but I had them significantly more with the money line, and crushed me. But it was a whole lot of fun for that game. And by the way, shout out to Big Ragu also. He was on Florida State as well, and I remember he said on the show, Florida State. He's a Seminole, and they pulled that one right out of their ass. So shout out to him. And
man. I wasn't on Florida State just because I didn't watch the friggin' video. I don't remember what I think I was prepping for NFL. But anyway, Sports Insights, not a shocker here. Half line value on Texas. 9% of the tickets are on Texas, but 20% of the money's on Texas. So I guess that indicates half line value. That's not a huge split. Normally, you would see like 10 or 15% and then 15% of the money. Here, it's just 9% and then 20%. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure, bro. You know what? Okay, I'm going to take it. Houston Astros, -1, -197, current line at Pinnacle. Current line. Play if you want to play the video, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
Excuse me.
Yeah, but in my defense, this is just this is half a pick, just honoring how much I appreciate Big Ragu's contributions. Although I did already bet it on my own personal accounts before I had any clue about what Big Ragu thought. But all right, I'll make it an official play. Half line value on Texas. Let me see.
Be a whole lot of fun.
Jesse Galante, Otto is from Texas. My gut says the Astros can get to them.
That's a good name.
All right. I made it official. Let's move on. All right, Jose Bouquett?
Yeah, Brewers, Rockies.
Okay. Yesterday, I had that one pretty much nailed. I took Milwaukee -1. It cashed. I took the Milwaukee team total over. It cashed. Not a great spot for Colorado. This one on the overnight line, I did bet it a bit. Didn't do much for the total, but I did take a shot with Colorado -1 at +240 or whatever. Milwaukee has a better lineup, and Cool sucks, although he's been better at home, strangely. But, Coors can be a big neutralizing place. Woodruff does seem a little bit vulnerable, much worse on the road, and has not done well at Coors overall in his career. So, again, hey, Jose, can I make a request?
Yes.
Jose? I know you're super busy, but can you fucking make a video that pays me respect when I take a huge underdog? I mean, Come on. If you're going to slam me with that Pete Rose video all the time, I should get a little respect when I say that I bet Colorado -1 at +245. The line seems a little bit too high for me. Yes. Milwaukee has a better lineup. Yes. Cool sucks. But at this current line, I did take a shot with Colorado -1. And I think I'm going to make it official. I'm going to check the money. Jose Bouquett, what do you think about this game, this spot for Colorado?
I am right there with you. I think that the Colorado Rockies get runs off of Brandon Woodruff, and I was thinking the same thing about Brandon Woodruff at Coors Field. Obviously, again, the main holdup here, the Rockies against righties in the last 2 weeks, dead last, 55 weighted runs created plus. But I also had the same thought. Coors Field will help them out and get some of those balls to drop. Honestly, I was thinking, do I really trust Chad Cool enough to pick the side? And I was looking at their team totals, but I was just going back and forth here, Pete.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to double up on it, but I don't like the spot for – wow, the line has moved in Milwaukee's favor, though. I think when I bet this, I got 244. Now it's up to like the 260s. I'm seeing minus 264 on at Heritage. But just 245 at at Pinnacle. Very interesting. Yeah, as you might expect, Sports Insights indicates small line value on Colorado. 33% of the tickets on Colorado, but 80% of the cash. But I guess that's a small sample size, so not huge value according to Sports Insights, but small line value on Colorado. And yeah, interestingly, wow, look at this. 60% of the tickets on the under, but 50% of the cash. Relatively small sample size, but still, nice to see. Let's check the comment section, see what everyone has. Woo Rizza says over or nothing. I agree with that. I think that the Colorado team total over is the far safer bet, but big value with the Colorado -1 line. Top said stay off this game. It's not healthy. Bo Jackson says balls fly in Colorado. That is true. Big Regu with a prop. Bregman over RBI at +160.
Pete, I have a random question for you.
Yeah.
Do you always take your dogs at the -1 price for the bigger juice?
Well, not necessarily, but as I've said many times before, buying and selling runs or points is only about volatility. So anytime you have like a game in Coors, there's likely to be high volatility. Definitely with both these starting pitchers, there's high volatility. I would say that in general, if I think a big dog is gonna win, that probably implies it's usually associated with higher volatility. So yeah, I am usually looking to do that. Although I also will once in a while throw on a little bit on just the straight money line. But yes, I would say that I often do that, because I would say that a big underdog where you think has a legitimate chance of winning is also usually associated with higher than normal volatility. Great question, Jose Bouquett. All right, I will double up on it. What the hell? We're having a good time here. Are you having a good time, Jose Bouquett? I am.
Having a grand time.
I am, even if I get canceled. All right, Colorado -1 +264. What a line. That's a current line at Heritage. And I think I am going to take the Colorado team total over as well. I might buy down to 4. Let me see what the line is at Will Hill here, where they let you buy and sell on team totals for Colorado. Yeah, 4 -162. I should probably just take the 4.5. Maybe I'll just 4.5 -115 at Pinnacle. It's 4.5 -102. Wow. All right, I'll just stick with the lottery ticket style Colorado -1 for now. I won't double up, but I definitely think that Woodruff gets it, and Cool probably gets it as well. And I would also be leaning first 5 over and full game over for sure.
All right, beautiful. By the way, shout out to Ron Crawford joining us as well. A little spreadsheet play, the Los Angeles Angels. Our next game. Very interesting.
Wow. Sorry. No, I was just blown away because Joe Yurkovich said he moved on Texas first 5 team total over. Wow. So Yurkovich expecting a couple. Yeah, I mean, Valdez does usually give up a few,
By the way, just some random news. Mitch Trubisky named officially the starting quarterback for the Steelers.
Okay.
So there's your little breaking news there from Mike Tomlin there.
Not exactly sure how much that mattered, but okay. So Ron Crawford, Ron Crawford, play of the day. All right, let's move on. All right.
Yeah, beautiful. Tigers, Angels. That look.
Ron Crawford, play of the day. The Angels are rolling. The Tigers, of course, are a relatively weak offensive team. Erod, having a tumultuous year, got pounded in his last start after 2 good ones. I had the first 5 under in his last start, which lost. Dom Ricci had the full game under in that one, which cashed. Man, shout out to Dom Ricci for that one. Are the Angels going to hit Erod here? I suspect probably a bit, yes. Mike Mayers on the other side for the Angels, pounded in his last start, but he can be okay. Detroit, of course, relatively weak lineup. I was actually quite surprised to see this number so low. Erod, fine, can be good, but got pounded his last start. Detroit, we know, is a relatively one of the worst offenses in the majors. I was shocked to see the line at just minus 140 on the overnight line. What's your take on this one, Jose?
Well, I don't know. Erod is kind of an interesting pitcher. I think he kind of does bounce back here, pitch better, but is it going to be good enough? Tigers bullpen not very good. Ohtani feeling himself right now, going for that MVP, the rightful MVP. I probably lean towards the Angels as well here. Maybe a team total to try to get the juice down. As I look for that on our friend at Bovada right now, I'll see. But yeah, it's an Angel spot for me. And interesting enough, this line has moved down a little bit. It's minus
a huge amount.
Yeah, minus 130 now for the Angels for me.
I'm seeing at Heritage minus 124. I'm assuming it's even lower at Pinnacle. Yep, no, minus 128. All right, this tells me, is someone out for the Angels? Someone must be out. Maybe they're sitting Ohtani. What's going on here?
Let's refresh ye old RotoWire to see. No confirmed lineups yet from anywhere, so we have not seen anything. I will look on Twitter and search Ohtani to see.
This has to be because someone's sitting for the Angels.
Yeah, I do not see anything yet. It might even be Trout, but I don't see anything. It's weird.
Bo Jackson says Tigers are pathetic, and that's even more true than balls flying Colorado, I would say. They're both extremely true, but that one is even slightly more true than the other comment. Tigers are pathetic. They really are, which doesn't mean that at times they won't have value. But this line, okay. If there's a full lineup for the Angels, I will almost certainly be betting Detroit, because where is the explanation for this line movement? Ron Crawford in the comments section, do you have any explanation at all for this strong movement towards Detroit? And looking at the line right now, the money right now, a teeny sliver, almost negligible sliver of line value on Detroit, but almost nothing according to. But a low number of tickets, and that might increase as the money comes in, because 46% of the tickets on Detroit, but 86% of the money on Detroit. Okay, someone's out for the Angels. Trout, maybe Trout and Ohtani.
And by the way, Ron Crawford, you would say, that never scares him off.
I know.
He ain't scared. Shut up.
It scares me, although in a movie I could act like a handicapper where that doesn't scare me.
Could you give us a sample of that?
No, not right now. But because right now I am truly scared, and I am a method actor. So right now I am, wow. Holy wow. Ron Crawford not scared of the line movement. A line movement like that, I have. What is there inside information that Erod's going to be lights out? It's got to be someone's out for the Angels, either Trout or Ohtani, right? What else could it be?
It might be that bounce back for Eddie. That's what I'm thinking, honestly. Because we talked about this a couple times. The pitchers that are coming, they get hurt, whatever. They get hurt for the middle of the year. They get out.
Sure.
And they come back at the end of the year. Maybe it takes them a start or two to get tuned up, but they always end up starting to pitch well. Lance Lynn, Domingo Germán, Eduardo Rodriguez came back strong in his first couple starts. Struggled last time, obviously, when he faced a good Seattle team. I could see him pitching well here. But obviously the Trout-Ohtani factor is obviously like a big flashing red flag. And I'm pretty sure that the Angels went off yesterday, huh? I don't remember what the final score was in that game. I want to double check, because if they went for a high number, then let me see.
Yeah. I mean, those are great points, Jose Bouquett, but they don't stack up to the main point here by Bo Jackson, which is Tigers are pathetic. But yeah, there's wow. Mike M, pimp slap play of the day, Detroit first 5+1/2, and Woo Rizza. I like Detroit first 5+1/2. And again, Ron Crawford's play is full game, not first half. So maybe Detroit first half and Angels full game are good. Wow. Mike,
I wouldn't hate that, yeah.
Go ahead. I see a big bounce back line is moving in alignment with the sharp tickets too. Rainbow the God, Tigers alt run line. Wow. All right. Detroit first 5+1/2 might be the play, and maybe the Angels come back late, and Detroit's patheticness shows late. And the Angels win. Fascinating stuff here, Jose Bouquett. I'm going to hold off for now. But again, I want to see what the lineups are and where the line continues to move. And if the Angels have a full lineup, I will probably join Woo Rizza and Mike M with Pimp Slap Play of the Day on Detroit first 5.
Beautiful. I'm excited for that. I am looking at the Tigers as well. I probably won't move on it officially. But I like them as well.
All right, next one. Arizona, San Diego. You ready?
Yes, I'm excited to hear about your take on this game because,
Pete,
I'll give you the little spoiler alert. This is my team that I was referring to earlier, the shit team that's gotten their shit together and just rolling. Bet the Diamondbacks first 5 money line yesterday. Cash it. Going to go back to that well today.
Yeah, I mean, the Nats have kind of been shit all year, though. And Arizona, I don't have their numbers in front of me, but I've had a pretty good read on Arizona all season long. They have a lot of they have a lefty heavy lineup when they face a righty, and I feel like I've timed good, performances relative to their market valuations pretty well all year long. With Arizona, I agree with you on this one. If the line was San Diego minus 115, I probably would have held off. But on the overnight line, I took a shot with Arizona, and I took a much bigger shot with Arizona first 5 in the morning. I did take it. Merrill Kelly, off a great start, sometimes gives up a few. That could be here. Musgrove also gives up a few. Statistically, the starting pitchers are almost identical on the year. Both bullpens are similarly subpar right now. My numbers on Arizona are that they hit righties a little bit better right now. San Diego off a shutout loss, but I'm not sure this is quite – it seems like any team that Soto goes to is like, all right, now we got Soto, and maybe there's a little malaise that falls over the rest of the team and the lineup. At even money, I wouldn't take it, but at a big dog line, I did take a shot with Arizona. I think I'm still liking it. I might make it official. Jose Bouquett, give us your breakdown while I look at the money and the comment section.
Yeah, I'm on Arizona first 5 money line plus 120 here. Merrill Kelly, obviously a pitcher we all know and love, has pitched well for us in many, many occasions. Milwaukee last time out, 7 innings, no earned runs there. Got touched up a little bit there. The White Sox, 7 innings, 4 earned runs there. 2 good starts, though, versus the Padres this year. His last one being 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run there. Fifth are these Arizona Diamondbacks against righties,
yeah.
2 weeks. They're hitting the ball well. 117. I bet on them yesterday. I bet on them, I think, the day before. I've been on them the last couple of days. I'm going to keep riding them. I think they're 9-1 in their last 10 now, I believe. I want to double check that. But, yeah, they've just been rolling right now. And you're right about them not being as shit as the Washington Nationals. They're definitely not as shitty, but they've just been hot. They're fucking 4th place in this division right now. 8-2 in their last 10. And by the way, their run differential right now, only -8. Only -8. So this Diamondbacks team, not horrible. Their pitching has been quality all year. Shout out to Brent Strom on them today. First 5 money line, excuse me.
Yeah, I'll go on that one with you. I'm seeing at Heritage right now plus 140. Arizona, money line plus 140. First 5 innings. Very interestingly, though, with the money, 36% of the tickets on Arizona, 74% of the cash on Arizona, and yet Sports Insights doesn't identify line value with Arizona. So that is quite interesting and quite telling, I think. 54% of the cash is on the under. 54% of the tickets on the under. 85% of the cash is on the under. So big bets coming in on the under, indicating that probably Musgrove is going to have a quality start here, which I wouldn't necessarily disagree with. Again, I'm only taking Arizona, same reason everyone else is, because of the big dog line. Yeah. maybe the under is a decent play as well. Low total and the money coming in on the under with bad hands. With bad hands.
Surprising that low total, but I guess I'd have to lean that way too. But Arizona is just a play for me.
Woo Rizza says, I have a feeling Kelly gets touched. I agree with that. Betting on him to have a second awesome start in a row on the road against San Diego made me nervous. It's just my stats liked it, and then the line was so big that I had to pull the trigger on it. I couldn't not pull the trigger, but I agree with you, Woo Rizza. Have a feeling Kelly gets touched. Me too. That not necessarily touched, but gives up maybe 3 or so, and gets outpitched a little bit by Musgrove. It makes me nervous, but I bet it and I made it official. Yeah, Mike M. I like unders on both first 5 and full game. Maybe the under. Wow, and top set, I like San Diego team total over and the over. So top set, thinking Kelly gets touched a little bit as well. Woo Rizza, his K prop is off. Been averaging 6.3 over the last 6. Books offering a 4.5. Woo Rizza. Nice commenting. Man, that is true. Wow.
The Reaver also mentioning.
What'd you say?
The Reaver also mentioned that Kelly gets touched near the end of the season, so we got to beware. This should be an interesting game for sure for Kelly. It might be a season determiner for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let me see. Where is the let me see where the overall the line is overall moved a little bit in San Diego's favor despite all these tickets coming in on Arizona to start. If this line is up to like 170, but no, that's the let me see. Hold on. Actually, I'm seeing no overall movement at all. Still, despite all the tickets coming. If this line is San Diego minus 170, close to first pitch, I think I'm going to hedge out of my bet, which I rarely do, and probably take a small position on San Diego because great points by Woo Rizza. I don't love the line movement or the lack of it. I don't love the fact that so much of the money is coming in on Arizona, and Sports Insights indicates that there's not line value with Arizona. This is interesting stuff. I mean, compare that with the Texas game. 9% of the tickets, 20% of the cash on Texas, and Sports Insights says half line value on Texas. But then with Arizona, 36% of the tickets, 74% of the cash. Sports Insights is silent on line value. Yeah, a lot of concerning signs here, Jose Bouquett.
Yeah, interesting. By the way, Pete, just to let you know, well, we only have 2 games left. That next game being Arizona-Oakland, but we have to be done by 1. So we've got 30 minutes-ish left.
Oh, no problem at all. Problem at all. Jesse Galante, I'm taking SD at home. Woo Rizza, Padres first 5 -0.5. Okay. All right. Next game is Atlanta and Oakland, right?
Yep.
This one I think is going to be a pass for me. Of course, Kyle Wright pitching great. Seems to be in a legit groove. Statistically, he's in a legit groove. Cole Irvin, sometimes good, also prone to giving up 5 as he did in his last start. No way, though, I can take Atlanta as this big of a favorite line at Oakland. And Oakland is, a little bit in the Washington vein. They brought up a bunch of youngsters who have been kind of productive. They're still, obviously, as this line is an example of, getting big underdog lines. I'm happy to fade Oakland at this point in the year still, but not at home as a massive underdog here. Oakland returning from the East Coast. I was thinking maybe Oakland first 5 team total under. As of right now, it's a pass for me. Jose Bouquett, what do you think? And I'm going to check the money here.
I'll say that if you want to bet on Cole Irvin and the A's, I think this is the spot to do it. Cole Irvin home ERA is kind of ridiculous, 1.94 compared to a 5.18 on the road. I'm not betting this game personally. Shout out to Joe Yurkovich. He's on Oakland first 5 plus 185. Kyle Wright is a beast. The Braves are very good. And Cole Irvin, his last appearance got touched up at the Nationals. 5 1/3, 9 hits, 5 earned runs there. I don't know. I would pick Oakland here if I had to pick a side. Maybe if I'll look at the lines a little closer and see if I get there by the end of the show or even by, say, plays time. But I would be Oakland or nothing from here. You can get Oakland first 5 plus a half at plus 110, which is not bad at all here as well. So I will probably pass here today on this game.
BJ says Braves easy money. Sports Insights, like 3/4 line value with Oakland, 13% of the tickets and 26% of the cash on Oakland, and that's what's so interesting. I mean, you have a lot more tickets on that one than the Arizona game, but you got 13% of the tickets on Oakland and only 26% of the cash on Oakland, but a big significant line value here indicated by Sports Insights. And then with 45-52 tickets, and then the Arizona game, it's only got 2,100 tickets, but still, that's only a little bit less than half of what the Oakland game has, and nothing indicated by Sports Insights despite the huge discrepancy there. Yeah, so I would be leaning, and Wu-Riza not taking Oakland, a lot of value, but the Braves are the Braves. Yeah, and I don't like the spot for Oakland, and I think Kyle Wright is in a legitimate groove right now, and going out to Oakland, I think it's likely to continue for one more game. So I might be leaning under, maybe the Oakland first 5 team total under. I might have a bet on this one by first pitch, but as of right now, I guess I'm just going to pass. Let's look at the money for the total. Okay. 60% of the tickets on the over, 75% of the cash on the over. So the money's coming in on the over and the low total. Pass for me, Jose Bouquett.
All right, beautiful pass for me as well. Second to last game, White Sox Mariners.
Yeah, White Sox, of course, won yesterday. Cueto and Gilbert, kind of similar. Both have been excellent. Both likely due for some regression. Cueto did get hit 2 starts ago. Gilbert off a great start, although it was against Detroit. Again, Detroit is in general a pathetic team. Gilbert very likely due for some regression upcoming. Small line here though. After yesterday, I do have this Seattle rated as a significantly better team though right now, and the spot is good for them. So even though both starters come here with question marks, and the question mark for Gilbert is a bit bigger than the question mark for Cueto, according to my numbers, I still took a shot with Seattle -1, and I might make that official. It was a very bad spot for Seattle yesterday. A bunch of guys were rested after the Sunday game in Cleveland, and I like Seattle here, despite the fact that Gilbert has a question mark. Cueto does as well, but a smaller one. Well, look at the money. What do you think, Jose?
I don't hate Bo Jackson and Mally Mal going with that under or that no run in first inning. I don't hate that at all. John Todd also liking the no run in the first inning. I passed on this game. Ultimately, I think these two teams are pretty good. Seattle being the better one of the two, and Johnny Cueto being a pretty good pitcher in his own right. White Sox are hitting well right now, 2/8, 111 weighted runs created plus. But I ultimately passed here. By the way, and Logan Gilbert, a little bit of a home road split guy too. 3.94 ERA at home compared to 2.95 on the road.
Yeah.
So I pass here, perhaps an over, but I definitely do not hate a no-run in the first inning look with both these pitchers coming out here pitching well.
All right. Well, I should probably just take the money line, but we're going to take Seattle as an official play, -1 at plus 101, current line at Heritage. Seattle -1 plus 101. We'll make that official. I think it's good. I did bet that already on the overnight line, and I think it's a nice bounce back spot for Seattle. All right, and then looking at the money, actually, Jose Bouquett, a somewhat rare, tiny bit of line value with the favorite according to Sports Insights. Let me see. 73% of the tickets on Seattle, but only 50% of the cash on Seattle, but still tiny line value indicated on Seattle. And for the total, wow, look at that. Leaning overs, 39% of the tickets on the over, but 68% of the cash on the over. So the early returns liking the over, which makes sense. Both starters have a bit of a question mark, in my opinion, and both starters due for some regression, in my opinion, as well. So that I agree with. I might wind up tailing that as well. I might wind up taking Seattle team total over. I don't know, but as of right now, I'm just going to take Seattle -1. Jose Bouquett. Top set, Elio Rodriguez. I think Seattle may be the best play today.
Okay. Yeah, I'm passing on this game at the end of the day as well. So nothing for me here. One game left on the card, though, Pete, and I don't even have a graphic for it because there's no starting pitcher for me.
Yeah, I tried to cap this 5 minutes before the show started, and there was still no starting pitcher for San Francisco. Tyler Anderson, obviously, on the mound for the Dodgers. He's excellent. He continues to chug. The Giants, of course, won last night. Let's see if there's any update to.
I'll say this, Pete. I have an experiment going right now. I've decided I'm going to take Dodgers run line for the rest of the year and just see how it works out, see how it rolls. They've been rolling people. I've taken it the last 3 days. Well, okay. The first day I was on a Padres game where I was like, it's only minus 110. Why is it not this? And I made a note of it. Didn't take it. It won. Took it the next day at plus 125. It won. Took it last night. It loses. Now I'm going to take it tonight again whenever that line comes out. So,
yeah, I don't hate that at all. The Dodgers are a relatively high volatility team according to my numbers here, and I'll just check a few more sources. You seeing any indication on this? I guess it's going to be a bullpen day, right?
Who knows? Who the fuck knows what they're gonna do? I still have no line either, and
there's no line. All right, so to recap, here are my official plays that I have given out officially. Mets Pirates under 8.5 minus 111. Rays, we're taking them. First half minus 160, and the Boston first half team total under 1.5 minus 127. Miami Marlins first half team total under 1.5 minus 165. The Reds -1 plus 195. Houston -1 minus 197. That might have been a big mistake. Big Ragu says Otto gets smashed, but a lot of other people like in Texas. And again, Texas is indicated as having significant line value according to Insights, despite only a small edge in the money versus the tickets. So that is very concerning. But I love and trust Big Ragu so much that, have you noticed, Jose, that people don't say I love you anymore? They say I appreciate you.
Yeah, I get a bunch of comments when I say stuff like that on here. So
No.
Yeah, I love you, Pete.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love everyone. I appreciate everyone.
I just want to make a note. He didn't say I love you guys back. I want to make that note. He did not say I love you back, guys. So
I did, didn't I? I said yes. I love you back, Jose. Yeah, love is such a strong word, Jose. Okay, I have no love for most people, but for you,
understand.
Just more appreciation for you. Yeah, I would say that. But that's just you, Jose. No, I'm kidding around. I love you, Jose Bouquett. All right, so my point is, I do love and appreciate Big Ragu. So I'm going to take Houston -1, minus 197. He says Otto gets smashed. But a lot of other people are saying that is too big of a line, and they might be right. Colorado -1 plus 264. That is another official play of mine. Arizona first half plus 140. I did make that one official, and I guess I'll ride with it. But again, similar to the Houston play, that might be the wrong side. I did bet it, and I might hedge out of that, even though I rarely do that if the line keeps moving in San Diego's favor. And Seattle -1 plus 101. That wraps up my official card for this show. Jose Bouquett, you want to review the official plays you've made?
Sure, I will. By the way, I wrote down all your picks correctly when I was going through. Not a big deal. Pat on my back. I did a good job. I am on Tampa Bay first 5 -0.5 minus 120. Cincinnati money line first 5 plus 130. Arizona first 5 money line at plus 120. And I will be betting the Dodgers run line when that comes out. Nothing else official yet. Definitely tune in to Say Hey Plays. Monday through Friday, 5:30 Eastern. Bobano joining me today. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah. Today's Tuesday. So yes, it's Bobano Tuesday. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun with him as well. Bobano's take always helps us out on all the games. And with Bobano, I usually become a high volume bettor. He just gets me betting more and more and more. Like you did, Pete. I almost bet a bunch more games, but I had to show myself some restraint and not bet them. But I probably will bet them by the end of the day. So it'll be a whole lot of fun. But yes, Say Hey Plays at 5:30 Eastern. And Nasty Nate saying, look at this, Pete. The most brisk pace show ever.
We try to. I have a great. Now, this is how you use the word appreciate. I have a great appreciation for other people's time, so I try to, I try to not waste other people's time as much as I possibly can, while still providing them with a valuable service here on the show. A lot of great comments here again. Mike M. Pimp Slap play of the day. Detroit first 5+1/2. Once again, weird, wacky, wild line movement in that Detroit game. The Angels are Ron Crawford full game. Our Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day as well, though. Here we go. Where is it? Big Ragu. Where Big Ragu posted his picks? Where the hell are they? Let me just find. Yeah, Big Ragu. Wow. Hill over 3.5 Ks -120. Okay. Arenado home run +375. Bregman over a half RBI at +160, and the White Sox at +130, going directly against my Seattle Mariners pick. Just seeing that. Very defensible.
I mean, Rich got 11 Ks last time. They really put it at just 4. Wow, that's pretty shocking.
Yeah, no, I mean Hill. Yeah, absolutely. Wouldn't all be surprised if that Hill prop cashes and all of our Tampa Bay bets cash as well. Arenado home run, that makes sense. Bregman RBI, that makes sense. White Sox +130, that makes sense too. But unfortunately, I am on the other side. We'll see how this all goes. Anything else you want to say, Jose Bouquett? What else we want to do?
No, I'll get a quick plug in again for the Cappers contest. Definitely join the Cappers contest right now. Go to Pub Sports Radio's website, pubsportsradio.com. You'll see the orange bar at the top of the screen. $100 to enter the Cappers contest. Another $100 for the Survivor pool. $100 each. A lot of fun. All the money being put into the Cappers contest and Survivor pools go right back into them. So all of that money will be back in the prize pool. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. The last day to sign up is Saturday, and the picks lock on Saturday. So definitely sign up. And a loaded day on Pub Sports Radio today. We have Hitting the Books, that's usually on Monday, about to start right now in 20 minutes. They're going to break down all the football games. Tuesday night, we're going to have a little Gridiron Gamblers, the debut of Andy Molitor and hopefully his knife, and Jimmy the Bag back in our lives, breaking down the whole NFL card. And again, we have the Cappers contest show on Thursday at 2 p.m. Me and Jimmy talking about the Cappers contest, all that good stuff. Well, I think we're going to be having one this week, and I think it'll probably be like how do you get in the Cappers contest? What is it? Et cetera, et cetera. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's going to be great. Pete, I appreciate you for doing the show, of course.
There you go. Correct usage of that word. I don't know. Nasty Nate says, no, Pete, you love other people's time. I don't know what these words mean anymore. And shout out to Rainbow the God. Fourth shift JJ here to remind Loshak there is no juice if you win, baby. That is true. That is very true. Almost as true as Bo Jackson's comments. Very true. Shout out to Rainbow the God. Fourth shift JJ. Always from day one, my favorite JJs were fourth shift JJ. Shout out to Rainbow the God and fourth shift JJ. Jose Bouquett, we don't want to talk NFL, do we? I can.
Well, you can mention something real quick, but I forgot, Pete. You owe me a fucking birthday pick, Pete. You owe me a birthday pick. Come on, you owe me a birthday pick. I'm sorry I got to do this to you, but you do. You do. Yeah, you owe me a birthday pick, Pete. I hate to break it to you. Almost forgot. We're not doing friends and family. Chase White, just to let you know, because we don't have a third person in here. I would like friends and family to be 3 legs personally. But yes, you owe me a birthday pick, unfortunately for you.
This is important. This is the situation in every time. I'm like, all right, a birthday pick. I'll go over my picks and I'll just, figure out which is my favorite one. And I'll give that. I'll go over all my picks. I'm like, I don't like any of them. I don't like any of these picks, Jose Bouquett.
It would be objectively hilarious if you did give me Houston -1, -197. It would be a little funny. I would laugh.
That would, right? I know. That's what I was thinking. And because I'm so thinking about a million other things, the comedic impact of that didn't hit me initially.
Or
All right.
Tampa Bay money line.
Yeah, you got one thing you got to do. You got to feel the universe around you. Do what the right things are. You always, as Bob Marley's last words to his fans were, you know the voice inside of you. You know the voice inside of you, and if you listen to it, I forgot the exact words. It's a great, inspiring quote. Obviously, the right thing to do here is to make Jose Bouquet's birthday pick Houston Astros.
Yes.
-1, -197.
Yes, let's
Happy
go.
birthday, Jose Bouquet.
I'm
For
betting
you,
that.
from me to you.
I'm betting that immediately. Thank you, Peter Loshak. I am taking it. Don't you dare give me another one because I'm going to bet that.
No, I'm not giving you. I just want to give you a little birthday advice. Also,
Oh
really
yes,
small.
I'm 25 now,
bet
Pete.
Small. Bet it small. That's all I want to say. Bet it. I'm on it, but bet it small. Happy birthday, Jose Bouquet.
Do you have any other birthday advice? I just turned 25 on September 4th, Pete. What do I have in store for me?
Wow, you just turned 25. Wow. Yeah, no, I could. Again, I have a ton of advice I could give you, but I'm already on thin ice for being canceled. Any of the advice I could give you would tip me over the edge and get me definitely canceled. So it's tough. It's tough to give men advice in 2022, Jose Bouquet. I'll give you some birthday advice off camera. How about that?
Okay, beautiful. I cannot wait. We do call them the Cleveland I words. You know, we got to call them the Cleveland I words. You know, it slips up every so often. Hopefully the bots don't come for us, and hopefully nothing bad happens to you, Pete, because the streets of New York are interesting. I know that for sure. Pete, I'm excited to. I was going to say I'm excited to be here next week with you, but I'm not going to be here next week with you. I'm going to Boston next week, so I will find someone to do the show with you, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Okay, that's great. Cheshire Cat says, who cancels Loshak? No, earlier in the show, if you watched the segment, I accidentally called the Cleveland baseball team the Indians, which is pretty bad. In 2022, that is pretty fucking bad.
Yes.
And a lot of people say, but you're allowed to say it, Loshak, because look at you. Look at your face. You're what the hell are you? I'm not, I have no Indian blood in me, so I'm not allowed to say it. And who knows what's going to happen as a result of that, but it happened. And there's nothing I can do to take it back.
All right, fair enough. Well, Pete, thank you so much. Any final words for the people in the chat?
I love you. I love all of you.